Evening, ladies and gentlemen. Hope you're all well. Just thought I'd give this a couple of things I mentioned. To be honest, this one's on Charlie Beach, nearly 800
And hello everybody, welcome back to the channel.
British stand there. Young Bob attacked by a gang of Muslims in Whitechapel is the British stand video. We've got the Charlie Beach slow motion analysis of Antifa. Basically, looks like he had a knife. Went for English Ned down in Manchester at the weekend. Have a look at that in as well. Charlie Beach video. And this is mad modernity. Something in Ireland that happened as well. A woman just absolutely taken out. Absolutely. Well, yeah. Watch this.
Ireland's continuing to enjoy the bountiful benefits of open borders.
The man we're looking to identify is here in the centre of the screen, wearing a green and black North Face jacket.
Don't worry, I'm sure they'll provide a proper description once you see what he did.
As he walks past a group of people on Oliver Plunkett Street, he lifts his elbow and hits a woman in the head, knocking her unconscious.
I can't show the full clip for obvious reasons, but it was brutal. The video was all over X.
Now he quickly...
Well, it looked fucking brutal, to be honest, and you can tell by the way her legs just fucking reacted there. She looks like she's fucking out cold here. I mean, we can just see that again. Absolutely no need. I think he uses his elbow.
People on Oliver Plunkett Street, he lifts his elbow and hits a woman in the head, knocking her unconscious.
I can't show the full...
Yeah, just smashes a woman right in the face with his elbow. She's walking past. It's in Ireland. Ireland's seen a lot of this, to be honest. Again, the streets are fucking mental now. I've seen quite a lot of things. I don't know if I'll mention them all in here. Seen a fight in London there between two foreigners and in the middle of the street. I think that looked like it was like Whitechapel area as well, to be honest. Where young Bob's been attacked there. So seen there, a woman just absolutely took out in Ireland. I think he broke a cheek or something. Hold on.
Clip for obvious reasons, but it was brutal. The video was all over X.
Now he quickly made his way along Oliver Plunkett Street and away from the scene, and the victim was left with a broken orbital bone on her right eye socket.
Shocking moment of violence there, Greg. What more can you tell us about that man?
Okay, finally a proper description of this scumbag.
Yeah, he's believed to be in his late 20s to mid 30s and around 5'8" in height. Now, he had a stocky build and dark hair and beard, and as I said, he was wearing that green and black North Face jacket.
Yeah, seems the more diverse Ireland became, the memo went out to stop even bothering.
Yeah, same in England, isn't it? Same in England. They don't like saying it was a foreigner, basically. Because it ultimately proves all the white British people right, that it's all the foreigners causing all the crime here and all the stabbings and just all the general... I mean, don't get me wrong, we've got our own, you know what I mean? But we didn't have as many. So, yeah, they don't tell us the nationality of people anymore now. How are you supposed to recognise people? I would never know, but that's the crack, as we all know. Since Southport, really. It's been since Southport. It's been never-ending. Even though we were told that we're going to be more transparent, didn't happen. Absolutely didn't happen. Told us one thing, done the other. So, that was the crack. Ireland, woman, absolutely taken out for no reason whatsoever. Elbowed. Believe she broke her eye socket or collarbone. Collarbone, where am I? Cheekbone or eye socket or something. Yeah, I mean, absolutely no need whatsoever. So this happened in Manchester to English Ned. Charlie Beach is the channel. So let's play a bit of this. Hold on.
A friend of mine was almost murdered on Saturday in Manchester. There's no exaggeration here. There's no hyperbole. This is after a few days ago in France, a young nationalist called Quentin Deronck, I'll try and pronounce it in French, Quentin Deronck, was murdered by Antifa thugs in France. 6 of them beat him to death and he was murdered. And the rhetoric that we had in Manchester ahead of the nationalist march by Britain First, which had people not gone out to challenge it, would have just been a bunch of Bazas and Sarahs waving flags through the city centre. They would have gone home, had a cup of tea, pint of beer, and that's it. But the rhetoric of far-left politicians saying they need to be confronted, they're neo-Nazis, they're evil, they are vicious, nasty people. This goes into the minds of people. And the video you're about to see, filmed by my friend, the Nowhere photographer, features another friend of mine as well, a YouTuber called English Ned, who in the confrontation Someone stole his glasses, making him unable to see very well, so he gave chase to try and retrieve his glasses. And you can see in the footage, it looks like he came very close to being murdered. So without further ado, please watch this excellent analysis by the Nowhere photographer. I'm sorry it's not my footage, but as you all know, I am in exile from Manchester. When you ban the man with words, you get the balaclava thugs with knives. Now, enjoy the video.
Yeah, so I'm sorry for the interrupt, I'll play it in a moment. Charlie Reach there, as some people might know, been banned from Manchester by the police for 7 months there, so he won't be back in till possibly July, August. So it's quite surprising to me that, to be honest, because Charlie Reach is usually quite alright with the police, he's well in with the police. A lot of the police know him and are alright with him, so I'm very, very surprised about it, to be honest. But I think somebody just lodged a false complaint again. I'm not sure. I did see him mention it in a video about a while back there. Not much goes on. It's hard to keep up here. So, as he said, English Ned. The thing is, with English Ned, is he is quite antagonistic and gobby, as people would call people around here. It's quite gobby and antagonistic to people, and yeah, abusive in a way. So it's when you do that kind of thing, I mean, it doesn't mean you're justified you're getting stabbed here, you know what I mean? But if you wind people up, then God knows what can happen in this day and age, because everybody's mental at this, the world's mental at this point. Is kind of what I'm saying. No, there's no justification here to stab anybody, but the world is mental and rub people up the wrong way, especially this left wing, as we've seen. I mean, there's a long line here of like left wingers. Again, I think that thing in Canada was a left winger, that shooting. Got the Charlie Kirk thing, but I mean, we all think that's bollocks, to be honest. Something happened in Cork today with that as well. Yeah, but they're just a violent left wing, aren't they? Again, it looks like this guy went to stab Ned here, and basically another fella there. Hold on, I can maybe get his name because somebody told me. He's kind of saved his life. Let's have a look here. Matt, I think his name was. Yeah, Matt. He got a blue cap on anyway. He pushes. He pushes the guy, and I think the guy drops the knife, and I think he even maybe went for a stab, someone said, of Ned, but caught him in a bag or something. He trips Ned up. You'll see it all now, and I'll play it. We'll go through it. Hold on.
Get over the road, quick.
I'd get over the road, love, if I was you. Whoa. Oh, nah, wait.
Right, so sorry, I'll just interrupt, I'll put it back. That's Ned on the floor. The guy in the blue hat here, Matt I believe he's called, he's kind of saved here. Lad away with this long coat on, he's done fucking nout, has he, to help Ned. He's just fucking filming it. Help the fella out, you prick. So, he was fucking tripped up, went flying into this phone box. Lado, I think's tried to fucking stab him. But luckily this fella's come over and tackled him, sort of thing, and I believe he dropped the blade, which we'll get to. I'll just put it back and let you sort of start again, just so you know what's going on.
Whoa! Oh, nah, wait! Whoa! Hey, stop! Ned, stop! We're not involved! Ned, stay back, okay? You okay? Ned, stay away now, stay away. Officer, he was assaulted by that man. I'm not...
So, as we've seen, it all just kicked off, didn't it, really, and all escalated. So, we believe that down here, just round the side of this phone box, is kind of like a stand. I think the guy explains it all in this video. Yeah, he does. The guy explains in the video. I'll just keep playing on.
Yeah. No, he's staying there. Stay there, Ned. Just my glasses, I can't see anything. Ned, stay.
This guy was of very little help, to be honest, to just taking photos of Ned getting fucking nearly stabbed there. Well done, pal. Well done.
Stay there. Stay here. You're safe there, mate. Stay there. You got your... Ned, stay there.
You're right, mate. Fuck off.
Are we able to find his glasses at some point?
I'll give them that hold them all. Calm down. That man did assault him. When he said sexual, wait a minute. I got an order we just need to do. I get it.
So I can just see the weapon there on the floor, the copper's helmet's in the way of it now. There on the bottom, if everyone sees that there, it looks like a bladed instrument. He goes on to explain what it could be, but yeah, it does look like a sort of Stanley knife blade to me. From what I'm seeing, it's a good description. What I can't really fathom is, I think the guy says at the end of the video they arrested this guy, but they let him go later on, because they clearly aren't aware that he just tried to attempted to murder somebody by the looks of things here. But you've got 2 coppers to the right here, multiple coppers stood here, 3 coppers doing the arrest, and fuck knows how many coppers up there. And not one of them sees this blade. Not one, by the looks of things. Or if they do, it's long after the incident and not pinned onto this guy, by the looks of things here. I don't know if anybody can do anything now. We've got this footage and everybody's seeing what's gone on. Is this evidence of attempted murder, and can this be used against this man? Surely they took his name after arresting him here. Who knows? Or did they find this blade? I don't know, but it does, again, I kind of, you've got everything, it does look a bit like a Stanley knife blade. He gets arrested, sir, but from my knowledge, not one of these coppers notices this blade in any of this footage. So that's just all what happened again, really. Again, let's have a look here. See, this guy just walking over filming it, look at him. I'm not impressed with this guy at all. Let's go back and see if we can get a... fucking... The Gremlins. Damn it, the Gremlins. Oh, is he going to play? No, there is Gremlins.
Now, this man here, who is that man? He's got the best angle there.
Saying that, to be fair to him, he is a bit far away. Well, he's closer than the guy in the blue hat who's done the actual tackling, to be fair. Yeah, you know what I mean? So, yeah, maybe I'll maybe stick with it. I'll stick with it. The guy with the blue hat's actually behind this guy, and he's just casually walking over, watching Ned nearly get stabbed to death there. Are you alright, Ned? No thanks to you, mate.
For sure. Ned then gets kicked in the head, and then I think that in his hand is the blade.
Yeah, there could be something in his hand, like he's odding. So the crack is, I think that this guy's tackled him and knocked it out of his hand.
Article, in my opinion. Matt pushes him, and it comes out of his hand.
Yeah, we've lost footage though. We've lost footage of the incident from this angle.
And around there. And now, as I'm trying to defend Ned from the attack, my camera gets turned around as another Antifa weasel comes. And luckily Matt is in the way.
Yeah, they are fucking weasels, aren't they? I mean, Charlie Beach was right, to be honest. If these people hadn't turned up, people would have walked through the city centre with flags, went for a pint and went home, and that would have been the end of it, you know what I mean? But these people turn up, turns into a fucking violent affair, somebody's nearly got fucking stabbed here, Ned's lost his fucking glasses. Glasses aren't cheap. Here's Ned trying to fucking steal his pants. Should have took his trainer. I would have took his trainer, his New Balance trainer there, that would have fucking pissed him off. If you go on, pal, you know, a guy with one fucking shoe will notice you, the man with one red shoe. So, yeah, well done, the man in the blue hat. Absolutely the hero of the hour, really, by the looks of things. If that was a blade and it was in Lado's hand and it looks like Lado's tackling him could have knocked it out of his hand. Yeah, and it's absolute well done. Yeah, and Lado goes on here to explain what he thought it could be. Stanley knife here with a bit of tape wrapped around it, basically.
Was this, and all he did is what a lot of people do in their house, is they wrap this around when they're dealing with glass.
Yeah, fucking Gremlins. PlayStation's on as usual, but I can't be fucking knocking it off. So, could have been that. Looks a bit like that, didn't it? Do you know what I mean? Not for definite, but it did look a bit like that. So, well done to the guy in the blue hat, anyway. If that was the scenario, looks like could have saved Ned's life in a way. Yeah, you never know with these left-wingers, do you? And that's the problem here. He very well could have stabbed him. So, move on. Young Bob's been attacked here by a gang of Muslims in Whitechapel. I mean, it was Whitechapel, innit? This isn't Britain anymore. This isn't England here. Everybody knows it. That all the signs are in foreign. Yeah, not a word of the Queen's is spoken in the Whitechapel here, or the King's now. See, I'm going to predict the future again here. As I said the other day, William will be king soon. There's rumours that the king is going to step down and William will be king very soon. So, there we go. The news is breaking. The king's health's not the best. It's all gone to shit on the Epstein files here. So William's coming in, and it'll get worse. It'll absolutely get worse when William comes in. Everybody will think it'll get better. Though you're wrong. It'll absolutely get worse. So, Whitechapel anyway, I don't know whether the Queen's is spoken down there. Not the best place to go if you're English or white or Christian, really. Yeah, there's not many of our number down that way now. So, yeah, I don't know what he was doing there. I think he went to a mosque and started kind of preaching here, which will get you stabbed, Bob. I've got to be honest, that probably will get you stabbed. Seen Ned's nearly stabbed there for less, you know what I mean? Yeah, he takes his life in his hands, young Bob, like, again, I would hate for something to happen to him, but the way he goes on with the people who he's going up against here, it's kind of a matter of time, unfortunately, or I hope not, but yeah, you're poking the wrong people, to be honest, again, and about the wrong issue here, you know what I mean? You'd be more better off just trying to get fucking rid of you and deport you, rather than going on about fucking Islam and Allah. They don't like it. They don't fucking like it. They do not like you fucking putting their religion or their God down here. You'd better off fighting the argument, we're just going to deport you all because we don't fucking like it. That would be an easier crack, but no. So he's been attacked here. Let's have a listen to this.
And go through what has happened. But funnily enough, guys, Whitechapel is a place that has been colonized by Muslims. I seen a clip earlier on today of a Muslim being interviewed in Whitechapel and saying that people should be arrested for criticizing Islam in London, and said that they shouldn't be doing it in, I quote, our area, a Muslim area. Yes, it is clear to see that this place has been taken over. And of course, young Bob, taking to the streets and doing what he does, debate, has been attacked, been mugged by a group of Muslims, and have had his cameras destroyed as well. Let's go through this video footage, guys. But first, please do hit the like button and hit the subscribe button for more. I'll be taking your reaction in the live chat, so do get involved. So, guys, let's get straight into this video footage that is emerging from Whitechapel.
I robbed you. Pardon? I robbed you. You robbed me? Yeah, move. Don't record me. I'm telling you, don't record me. Next to me. Yeah, don't come next to me. Stop recording me, bro. You want us to record. Brother, you know what you're doing is inflammatory. Even now, just go home. What do you want to get?
I want to make sure that I get his guy's face because he's assaulting me. So when I make a report to the police...
You want a reaction?
Pardon?
You want a reaction?
There's doing me anxiety because you physically assaulted me. You broke a grand worth of a camera equipment.
Listen.
You broke a grand curve. You assaulted me. Threatened to mug me.
I'm not saying that his actions were perfect actions. However, it's a response to an inappropriate behaviour.
Okay, do you think he's religious for doing that? Because you just said, "Oh, I am not religious for doing it."
No, I'm not saying
apply the same logic.
Why this? Don't record me. Yeah, he won't listen. That's the point. Yeah, don't. Don't give me the time. That's what it's right. Listen, go home and think about your actions because it's actually poor behaviour. Oh, yo, I saw you went to my school.
No need to assault me. No need to assault me.
So let's find out what actually went on then, shall we? So, young Bob basically put it, I've been attacked by a gang of Muslims outside of an East London mosque in Whitechapel during the time of Ramadan, and after a Christian preacher was antagonized by Muslims, I decided to do some interviews and debate outside of an East London mosque. Immediately afterwards, a gang of men surrounded me and threatened to mug me. He then went on to say, here's a quick...
I mean, the Muslims aren't up for a debate here. It's Allah or the Skyway again. I mean, some of them pretend it isn't, but everybody knows it's Allah or the Skyway here. Kind of why they stab people and fucking murder people in the name of Allah. There's only one. That's why they shout Allah Akbar before they do it. Generally, they're killing people who aren't Muslims. And a lot of Christians been murdered throughout the world, in Africa and various places. Yeah, you kind of have to go with their God, or they're not too happy about that. I maintain standing in Whitechapel and trying to fucking preach Christianity. I'm not saying you're wrong, because he's not wrong, but it's a fucking dangerous game you're playing, do you know what I mean? Like, is it worth your life? You know what I mean? Is it worth your life to ultimately make no gains? You're not going to change any of these Muslims' minds. You're really not. No, I don't think you've converted one person to Christianity from Islam, the young Bob there. Not that I know of. Do you know what I mean? Hopefully he has, to be fair, and then he's doing some good here. But is it worth your life? That's kind of the other crack. Is it worth your life here? Because these people will, you get wrong one there. I mean, that guy in Manchester there looked like a Muslim. So it's just a dangerous game he's playing, isn't it? Always kind of crack. Again, and it's just the left wing as well. The left wing of the Muslims, they're all violent and will do you in if the mood takes them. We've seen it in America as well, in Canada, everywhere, to be honest. We've seen it in Europe. We've seen it. We've absolutely seen it here. So yeah, again, he's not wrong, young Bob, but what will you gain, and is it worth your life? Is kind of the crack.
Explanation of what happened in Whitechapel. We've had to run quickly into the train station, so I haven't been able to give ample of time to do anything. However, we were doing videos where someone recommended we go outside of a East London mosque after their prayers to talk to them about Ramadan and what happened with the Christian preacher. They ended up surrounding us. We spoke for about half an hour. We had it all on camera. Then randomly they started to intimidate my cameraman. They grabbed my cameras and bashed it to the ground. While I was holding onto it, they put me onto the floor. They kept on grabbing me constantly, doing woman stuff like pinching me, punching me, pushing me and slapping me. They took some of my things out of my pockets. I ran away. The police were absolutely useless. The waiting time in Whitechapel was over an hour, and as soon as they found out...
Oh, of course. Absolutely, of course. Yeah, it's two-tier policing all the way here in Britain. Everybody knows that. Everybody knows that for at least a year now. Yeah, so the problem you've got as well is you wanting to debate them. So usually when you have a debate, there's kind of a winner and a loser, and Bob's quite clever, to be fair. I've never seen many people, if anybody, beat him. So ultimately the Muslims are going to lose the debate here. Nobody likes losing the debate. Absolutely nobody. So that's going to piss them off. So again, you're not going to convert them. You're just going to piss them off, which ultimately can end in you being attacked or stabbed. So is it a very good idea? Again, is it worth your life? And it's fair dues as well. Maybe you just pick your places, and maybe Whitechapel at this point in time in Britain and England isn't the place to do this anymore, you know what I mean? So, yeah, again, I don't condone any of it at all, but I just understand that people are violent in this day and age, and yeah, it's like nobody's got a fuse anymore. Do you know what I mean? Like, everybody's fuse is real short now. So yeah, if you poke the fire, you might get burnt. Is kind of the crack here, and that's kind of the thing with all these protests. Again, I've said before, like, one of the first things I ever learned about when I kind of learned about the New World Order and what was coming and how it would go down, there was always going to be protests and civil unrest, which we still haven't quite got to yet. We've had the protests, but we haven't quite hit the civil unrest. We've had some, but not to the extent of what I believe could be coming down the line here, and what I was kind of told would be coming. And when you get to them times, which are very, very close, again, these protests are getting violent. That the advice was, and this is sort of 18 years ago, 17 years ago, long before even any of this was a possibility. Don't go anywhere near them. Just absolutely don't go anywhere near the protests, for multiple reasons as well. Ultimately, you'll never solve anything or fix anything, because the protests are part of the plan. order out of chaos. You're fighting the wrong battle. You need to fight the global elites within the Epstein files, and again, you might actually fix something rather than fighting the small battles. You need to fight the war, you know what I mean, not the battle. So you're never going to fix anything. You're fighting the wrong battle. They ultimately are using the protests to video capture everybody on facial recognition cameras to know who the dissenters are later down the line. That's primarily what the government wanted for. They can systematically find who all the people are who go against the New World Order here, and when the time comes, they know who and where you are. So, there's no real good outcome of the protests, you know what I mean? Again, even the Tommy Robinson one we done there in September, if it was, there was nearly 1 million or 2 million people there, and the government didn't even acknowledge it, really, you know what I mean? They just carried on as if nothing happened. So I don't really see anything happening after May either. Again, everyone will go down, it'll be a good affair. It'll be a good crack, but what will happen in the aftermath to change anything? And I think the answer is nothing. Keir Starmer is, well, what else could go wrong? He would literally have to like murder somebody and be caught red-handed with the gun in his hand and on camera, and he might then resign as Prime Minister. But up until that point, I don't think he's gonna. I just don't think he's gonna here. And even then, he'll just probably get someone as by, like Shamana Mahmood or somebody else who's very much in on the agendas here. Again, that's how it works. You don't get one. We haven't had a Prime Minister who isn't on the agenda since, well, ever, to be honest. Ever, I don't think. If you're really thinking back, I'm going to have to go, it's before I was born, long before I was born. So, yeah, you're going to have to go back to maybe like the 50s, I don't know, maybe 40s, maybe even sooner. So, yeah, it's a shit show as ever. Everything's a shit show. Manchester's a shit show. London's a shit show. Ireland's a shit show. The Muslims, shit show. Whitechapel, shit show. Fucking Epstein, everything's a shit show. Andrew Mandelson's been arrested. I've seen whether anything will happen. Again, none of these people are getting done for fucking sick paedophilia, fucking child molesting, sacrificing, all of the real bad shit that's in the Epstein file. None of them are getting prosecuted for any of that. No, we're getting prosecuted for telling somebody a secret about fucking some business, you know what I mean? So it's a load of bullshit, as usual. I'll leave it there on this one, but I'll make a video on the Epstein and some of the stuff that's come out, and Pam Bondi being an arsehole and all sorts, to be honest. Quite a lot happened on the Epstein files there. Could be a long video. So that's the crack. Young Bob was attacked, but don't go to Whitechapel and preach, would be some advice I would give him. Ned was nearly stabbed, we think. No need for that at all, but the left wing are all violent bastards. And a woman was absolutely levelled in Ireland there. Looked like another Muslim. So, yeah, thanks for all the Muslims. Someone, cheers. Leave there, peace.